Who is the biggest name to get dealt before the NBA trade deadline? That's the question I want to start today's show with. Biggest name to get dealt before the deadline on March 25th. Cast your votes in right now. You're watching NBA Now. I am your host, Harrison Graham. Today's show, 6 big-name candidates that could get traded before the NBA trade deadline. We got a few honorable mentions as well. We'll go ahead and jump on into this one. How about Buddy Heild? I'll throw him in here at number 6. Not having the best year, but he's still shooting well from 3, and he's actually improved as a defender this year. He's a name that seems to be consistently linked to NBA trade rumors. I think he'll be in the mix once again. People like his shooting. People like his space flooring. He is 4th in the NBA with almost 4 3-pointers made per game, which is very good. He obviously takes a lot of threes as well. I like Buddy Heild. I've always been a big Buddy Heild fan going back to his days at Oklahoma. 16 points per game this year, like I said, not the most efficient, 37.3% from 3, but he's certainly still playing at a pretty high level. He's grabbing 5 rebounds, dishing out 3 assists as well. I like Buddy Heild. I think there's a chance he gets moved. I think it depends on where Sacramento sits, 2, 3, 4 weeks from now. As of now, I think they're 9th in the Western Conference at 12-12, but we will wait and see where they are, a couple of weeks from now to see if they consider being sellers or buyers at the NBA trade deadline. Now, we'll get to our top 5 in a second. There are some other names to keep an eye on, though. Lonzo Ball, there's been a lot of buzz around him. We'll see if he gets dealt. Same with Oladipo. I think it's pretty likely he gets traded. Evan Fournier, Harrison Barnes has been connected to trade rumors as well. And then Kevin Love. Contract's tough. I think the Cavs would like to move him. We'll have to wait and see. Those are 5 other names to keep an eye on as well. Now, if there are some major trades, we're going to cover it here at Chat Sports because that's what we do. We cover the latest NBA trade rumors, news, obviously trades that actually go down, a la the James Harden trade. We broke that one down for you guys. All kinds of NBA videos just for you guys. Head to that link down below. It's youtube.com/chatsportstv. Next up is Kyle Lowry, and reports have surfaced that part of the Raptors front office believes it's time to trade Kyle Lowry away. They are in the playoffs as of now, but they're below 500 in a weaker Eastern Conference. This makes sense because he is in the final year of his deal. He turns 35 in March. He's not part of the Raptors' future. Sure, he could re-sign to another 1-year deal like he did last year with a 1-year extension. Obviously, he brings experience and still good play to any team that would trade for him before the deadline. He's still scoring over 17 a game. Kyle Lowry is still a nice player in today's NBA. 5.5 rebounds, 6.5 assists. He can still shoot the ball well from deep at 38%. He's always been a good defender. Kyle Lowry would bring valuable championship experience to any team that traded for him. I just think that Raptors era is over. I think he gets dealt before the NBA trade deadline, and I think a lot of teams would be interested. I think the Lakers would have some interest. I think a team like the Denver Nuggets would have some interest. They could use a veteran type of player right now. I think a lot of teams, especially in the Western Conference, would be interested in Kyle Lowry. I think he gets dealt. Plenty of time between now and the NBA trade deadline, but I do think his era in Toronto comes to an end. And it's sad because this year they've been playing in Tampa Bay due to COVID restrictions up in Canada. So it's kind of a bummer, but I do think he gets traded. Will Kyle Lowry get traded? We'll ask you guys now. Type Y for yes, type N for no. I think he gets dealt, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. A name that's been brought up recently is John Collins of the Hawks, and that's because Atlanta reportedly is willing to take calls for John Collins and potentially trading him. Now, he's having another great season for Atlanta and is a very young player, so I think this would be a bad move for the Hawks, but he's a big name that has big-time potential and is already reaching some of that potential, and trust me, at 23 years old, this kid will draw a ton of interest if he gets shipped out between now and the NBA trade deadline, averaging over 18 points again. What people don't know about John Collins, he can really shoot. Over 40% from 3, good rebounder, decent defender. I like John Collins a lot. I think it would be a bad move for Atlanta to trade him. I think you build around him and Trae Young moving forward, but there's been some chatter. Maybe they don't get along super well. We'll just have to wait and see what they do. I would keep John Collins if I'm Atlanta, but seems like there is at least a chance that he gets traded between now and March 25th. Get going with Pro Flowers. Valentine's Day is almost here, or maybe it's already passed. But either way, you can get flowers for your girlfriend, your wife, your mom, your daughter, whatever it is, 15% off when you go to that link on screen, chatsports.com/flowers, chatsports.com/flowers. Tons of different flower arrangements available for you guys. We also have all kinds of chocolates and gifts available as well. Maybe your wife or girlfriend doesn't like flowers. Some girls don't. That's a real thing. Get her some goodies. We have gift baskets. We have spa treatments. We do it all at chatsports.com/flowers. You see that charcuterie board? Come on, take advantage. 15% off at that link. It'll be in the comments. It'll be in the description. It's chatsports.com/flowers, chatsports.com/flowers. Get some sweets, get some flowers, get some gifts. It's all 15% off at that link. Let's get to the top three here. How about Nikola Vucevic? Yeah, you probably didn't expect to see his name. All he's doing is having a career year for the Orlando Magic, and the Magic stinks, so I think they are definitely going to get calls on Vucevic. And in my opinion, they should probably trade Nikola Vucevic and anyone else. I think the Magic are prime candidates to be sellers. He's been great. A lot of teams need bigs who can score. I think Vucevic is a guy that would offer a lot to a lot of different teams. Now, he's not a great defender, so let's get that out of the way. But NBA is not much of a defensive league either. Look at what he does offensively. 23 points, almost 12 rebounds. He's a decent assist man as a big as well. 42% from three and almost 50% from the field. Nikola Vucevic is a really, really good scoring big man who's not that old either. I think he will draw interest, and I think the Magic should take these calls and ultimately be sellers. As we're filming this, they're 9-17. They're not doing anything this year. Orlando, maybe they sneak into the playoffs because the East is so weak again, but they're not doing any damage. Sell, sell, sell. That should be the theme for Orlando this trade deadline. I think it starts with Vucevic, and I think you consider guys like Aaron Gordon and Evan Fournier as well. I know there's been chatter that they're not going to trade Gordon, but I think they should. I think they should trade as many pieces as they can and commit to a rebuild. Now, who is the better player? We just talked about two bigs. Nikola Vucevic, John Collins, type NV for Vucevic, type JC for Collins. I think Vucevic right now is better. Collins has some more upside. He's younger, so you could certainly go in that direction. If I'm trying to win right now, I'm getting Vucevic. I'm typing NV. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Let's go top two here. Zach Lavine, who is just absolutely lighting it up for the Chicago Bulls. He's been outstanding. He's playing like a superstar. I mean, this year, he's probably a top 10, top 12 player in the NBA. Elite scorer, really good shooter, improving as a playmaker. Zach Lavine has really, really improved the last year and a half or so. Expect the trade rumors to continue to heat up, especially if the Bulls start skidding over the next few weeks, which they already have a little bit. Look at the numbers. 28 points. 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and it's not like it's inefficient. 42.5% from three. Oh, by the way, 51% from the field. He is shooting a lot, and he is making a lot. He is playing at an absolutely, for sure all-star level, secondary MVP candidate. I could be in the top 10 based on how he's played this year. He has been outstanding. Now, not much of a defensive player, but hell, who cares? If you can get 28, that's a walking bucket right there. I think Zach Lavine's the name to watch. I really do. I think the Bulls have some big decisions to make on what they want to do. I think they should probably keep him. You just have first-year head coach Billy Donovan. He's installing his culture, and they have improved, but there's been chatter they could move him out. I'll be very curious to see what they end up doing at the NBA trade deadline. Number one, and we're not going to change here until the deadline comes and goes, I think Bradley Beal is the biggest name that could get dealt. Now, the reports continue to surface that Beal remains loyal to Washington. He wants to make it work there. They're not going to trade him, but it would not surprise me if on March 24th, March 25th, they're getting calls and someone's like, here, 4 first-round picks, screw it. We need Bradley Beal. And they're just like, well, we just have to take it at that point. I think that's the type of trade you're looking at if a Beal trade happens. I don't think it'll happen in February. I don't think it'll happen in early March. If he gets dealt, this feels like a deadline type of deal. And I respect the hell out of Bradley Beal because the guy brings it every night, and he says all the right things. He's been loyal to Washington. Hell, he signed an extension there when it really didn't make any sense to do so. He wants to make it work in Washington. But if the Wizards get an offer they can't refuse, they're going to have to take that deal. I applaud Bradley Beal with how he's handled this whole situation. He said before this year he wants to play with John Wall. They traded him away. He signed an extension a couple of years ago, and then John Wall got hurt and said, hey, I'm a man of my word. I want to make it work here. Kudos to him for standing by all of that. But at the end of the day, if Washington gets overwhelmed with an offer, I think you got to move Bradley Beal if you are the Wizards. Keeping him around just for the sake of it doesn't do yourself any favors. Russell Westbrook isn't getting any younger. That duo is not good enough to make a run at an Eastern Conference Finals trip or anything like that. I just think moving out Beal, if you get an offer 3 first-round picks or more, don't you have to take it if you're Washington? I'll be curious to see what happens. So we asked you at the beginning. We'll ask you one more time. Biggest name to get dealt before the NBA trade deadline. Let's hear it right now. Is it Bradley Beal? Is it Zach LaVine? Is it someone I didn't mention? Get your votes in the comments.